You're a Polish politician.
Mm-hmm.
You became well known around the world in recent years, putting Poland first.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
Not even one will come to Poland.
Why are you interested in Britain?
What I see in Britain, it's not Europe anymore.
How do we manufacture a kind of immigration system if we allow some immigrants in?
That's very simple. 0 illegal migrants. 0 means 0. We do have legal paths.
I think when the left say far right, they think of somebody who's a racist.
I'm not. I underline radical Islamists. I'm not talking about the faith itself. I could, but I don't. I'm talking about jihadists who are using a faith of Islam to conquer the world. There's many guys from Islam who disagree with them.
Did you say we won't let one Muslim in?
We will not receive even one if it's illegal.
If it's illegal?
Yes, not even one terrorist attack, because we did not let anyone in. When I entered the room, I saw a man very weak, devastated, long beard. I didn't say anything. I didn't let him know that what I see, what I feel.
In a country that doesn't believe in free speech.
And I was like, Tommy, we need you out. Delete this movie and they will let you out. You would be able to do much more outside. Do it. He says, no, I'm not gonna do it. And then when I saw him yesterday, he was like a different man, full of strength, power, ready, proper leader from the nation, not elite.
We weathered the storm, and today we are the storm.
That was a turning point in the history of this country.
Hi guys, can you please do me a favour? We're trying to make sure over 50% of you viewers subscribe. Please hit subscribe now. It's free and helps us grow. Bloody hell, what a weekend it's been. You've just
Beautiful.
been how was Tommy Robinson's rally?
I lost my voice, so please forgive me. First time in my career, I lost my voice. Exciting, fire, beautiful, huge success, I must say. Beautiful place, beautiful people. And it is a miracle to this country, to be honest, to have over 1 million. I do not know exact numbers, but that was over 1 million. We've been told it is about 3 million. Even if that would be 500,000, whoever in history of this country would be able to gather so many patriots. So I was, obviously Tommy is attacked and criticized for so many years. But I was wondering, when we finished, I was wondering, if he's so bad, who's better? And why they did not gather 100 or 50,000 or 500,000 or 1 million or whatever in one place? Where are the other leaders? If they are so smart, if they are such elites, if they are so educated and crystal, why they are not able to bring people together? Why they are not able to unite the kingdom? Where are they? If they are so good when they are, in Westminster, why they are not on the streets when people are expecting leaders to be on the streets with them? Why? Where are they? So it is a huge success. Love him or hate him, but he's a patriot. And it's not only yesterday's experience. I visited him when he was in jail. I know him for 10 years. And my visit when he was locked up changed everything. I mean, when I entered the room, I saw a man very weak, devastated, long beard, the guy like the main character from Castaway.
Yeah.
But it wasn't funny. It was a wreckage. He was a wreckage. And I didn't say anything. I didn't let him know that what I see, what I feel. And I was like, Tommy, we need you out. Delete this movie and they will let you out. You would be able to do much more outside. Do it. He says, no, I'm not going to do it. So many people, we had to work on it. I mean, to convince him that he's needed outside. He cannot be here and he cannot be locked up. And I was thinking, why this guy's doing this? He left his kids, his family, he could be out in a second. And he had to spend 7 months locked up. And then when I saw him yesterday, Friday, actually 2 days ago, when I arrived, he was like a different man, full of strength, power, ready, organized. He was like a proper leader from the nation, not an elite. So none of us is saint or clear, crystal clear in a way someone would imagine. We are not saints. We do make mistakes. So he's the one who make mistakes like all of us, but he's the one who take action and paid for it. 7 months in jail. So he's not doing it for fame or money. You know what I mean? And many people were like, oh, Tommy is this or Tommy is that. Why don't we go with this party or this man? Or where are they? Where are you leaders? Where are they? They're not here. They're not for the people. So I'm proud that I was part of this historical event. That was a historical event, and in my opinion, that was a turning point in the history of this country.
You're a Polish politician.
Mm-hmm.
You became well known around the world in recent years, a lot for putting Poland first.
That's right.
Which a politician should do. Why are you interested in Britain and
because I love Europe. I'm a European. I love Poland as my homeland, and this is the most important thing to me. I grew up in a very patriotic family who our family went through horrible things during the communism and after the war. My grandfather, who fought against Germans, and then after 1945 he fought against communists in the forest as an outcast soldier. Then my mom, my father. So throughout generations, I was growing in the environment when patriotism was a natural part of our DNA as a family and as a Polish. And obviously, my main duty is to take care of my homeland, of my family and my citizens, not only my voters, but whole Poland. But I am also a proud Christian European. I do see what is going on in the European Union as a member of the European Parliament, but I can see what is going on throughout the continent. I see Europe, Christian Europe, as one of the best places to live, the best places in the world. Our European Christian civilization and the West in general brings, not only by religion, but by culture, by science. We gave the world the best. Poland, look at Poland. Chopin, King Sobieski, Marie Sklodowska-Curie, John Paul II, Copernicus. We Poles, we changed the world. We Europeans changed the world. So I love my history. I love my identity. I love where I came from. So I want to live in Christian Europe, not only by its faith, but also by its culture, identity, music, food, everything. I love it. And what I see in Britain, it's not Europe anymore. And I'm not talking about places outside London. I'm talking about, I just came from Sloane Square. Beautiful place. W1, as you know.
Yeah.
One of the most expensive places. So I called for a taxi. And the taxi driver was very active during he was like, we started from small talk, how's life in London, this and that. And he was from Afghanistan, actually. He says, I'm here for 15 years. And I hate this country. I hate this place. I hate America. China should take over. There is no socialism in this place. I have to work 7 days a week, and dollar is very weak. BRICS will take over. America will go down in 5 or 7 years. And I had like 40 minutes from the taxi driver who's here for 15 years and providing to his family, how bad this place is. And I was laughing inside. I was like, I'm happy that I met you here on the way to this podcast, because he is a random guy and a great example. How many people who are even here now legally, I presume he was after so many years legally here, do not appreciate this country and any country when you're migrating. That is the problem. You do not appreciate the opportunity. You're still unhappy, and in some way, as a taxi driver, he's having contact with so many tourists and people in general, and he's spreading his hateful thoughts. I was surprised. I did not react, obviously, but when he stated that China should take over and the BRICS is great, that was all I had to know about him and about his attitude. So I do care about Europe. I do care about this continent. I do believe that Europe is very important and can be saved. Still, we can win this war of civilizations. That's how I see it. It's not only on political level. It's deeper than that. It's a war of civilizations, and I think this war of civilizations we can win, but we have to be very active. We cannot be focused only on parts of the continent, not only on European Union, but we have to see a bigger picture. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm active. I've been here. I've been an immigrant. I was here for 5 years. I've been here. I mean, I paid my taxes. I tried to, catch up some language, learn something, provide to the society, which gave me opportunity. That was years ago when I was a student. Then I decided, okay, I've done my part. I've done my bit. I graduated, came back to my homeland to serve my people, to my homeland, and that's how it should be. If you want to be here, you have to be here legally. You have to provide, be a part of the society. You have to respect culture, faith, and the whole picture. If you do not respect this place, you cannot be here. You shouldn't be here, because this is the land of opportunity. There is a reason you decided to leave your place for any reason and be here, because it's better. If it's better, you have to respect it. If you do not respect it, do not be here. Go wherever you came from. Just leave. You don't have to be here. If you do not respect this people, it's not trees, roads, people of this nation are giving you an opportunity to grow in many ways. So I decided to go back and serve my homeland, because I love Poland. I love being Polish. I love history. I love everything about being Polish. But I still remember about this land, about this opportunity I had. I do remember about Polish pilots who fought for Britain, our heroes. There was a reason 70 or 80 years ago why Polish decided to be here and fight for this country. So there is many reasons why I'm here. The main reason is I love Christian Europe and I want to fight for it, not just talking.
How do we manufacture a kind of immigration system, if we allow some immigrants in from different places, parts of the world, who do adhere to what you describe as a respect for the people?
Sure.
Here? How do you do that?
That's very simple. First of all, that's what I said years ago in 2018 to Katie Newman, 0 illegal migrants. 0 means 0. So that's very basic. 0 means none. So stop the boats here. Do not let illegals come through the forest, to the Polish Belarusian border, and the same in different places. You do not allowed to commit a crime, because it is a crime as a legal term to cross the border illegally. That's the same in Lampedusa, or Lampedusa as Italy or other places. You do not allow it, because when they are getting used to it, it is immoral for others who are applying for visas, who are applying for asylum, who are going through this legal path, right? So we do have legal paths. You've got international law, which is very clear how you can, submit your documents and ask for a visa or asylum. You've got You've got a place where you go and you apply for it. Then you have to wait for a decision of this country, of this nation, of this people. If we need you, if we want you, if there is a need for you to be here. That's number one. Number two, legal immigration. We are not North Korea. It's not like you cannot come in or leave the country. You can, but you have to do it legally again. So if there is a need on the market, or there is any other need for legal migrants for 6 or 10 months, it's okay, that's fine. You can come here for 6 or 10 months. What I mean is, I'm talking about police system. How I would love to have it. It's still not ideal, but it's quite good when you compare it to the European states. So if you want to come for 6 or 10 months, that's not a problem. You can apply. If you do have a visa for 6 or 10 months, then come, be here legally. Then next day you have to leave. If you're not going to leave, you're illegally. Then you are deported. So all of them who are illegally should be punished and deported. If not, the problem will grow. Because what we are seeing in Europe now, it is invasion. Many leftists do not like this word, but it is invasion by the numbers and by the character. When you see what is going on Polish-Belarusian border, it is invasion, and it is a hybrid war.
So what about those of us who I mean, I'm not a Christian, but I have a lot of respect for what Christianity did.
You see, you have a respect. I'm not saying that everyone has to be a Christian. Catholic, I'm a Roman Catholic. It's not about forcing someone to believe what I believe in. It's not about that. If you want to be a Christian, if you do have a grace of faith, as we call it, you can, and thank God for that. But the main difference between us and fighting atheism or jihadists, I mean radical Islamists, they want to force you to become an atheist, what we see mainly in the United States when you see woke activists.
It's a particular kind of atheist.
That's right.
Because I'm an atheist as well.
Yes, but I'm talking about fighting atheists. The ones who are
woke
trying...
atheists, maybe.
Yeah, the woke atheists, right? They are forcing you by their protest, and violent protest, and killing people who thinks differently. We've got this terrible laws of Charlie Kirk, right? And it's terrible. We do not kill people because they do not believe in Christ. And you decided to be an atheist, and jihadists would kill you for that.
Yeah.
They would kill me as a Christian for that. So this is a main difference between Western civilization of freedom and democracy and people who are genuine threat to the world. Because we let you do not believe. We let you believe whatever you want. We do not kill people for that. So we do not talk, when I say war of civilizations, it's not a political difference. Like, I would like to have a higher taxes, you would like to have lower taxes. Let's talk about it. It's not a difference. We're not talking about taxes. We're talking about existence. They do not want us to exist. So we have to fight for our existence. It's not a freedom in our life. It's about be alive. And it's not, I mean, it's serious. I'm not exaggerating. We had so many terror attacks which were based on their faith. Have you ever heard about Christian blowing himself? Have you ever heard about Polish blowing himself because of his Roman Catholic beliefs?
No.
There you go. That is the problem.
I've not heard of Jews doing it.
Of course not. Of course.
Sikhs, I don't think, not in the UK.
That is the
Hindus.
problem. So they called me, for so many years, they called me Islamophobe. I'm not Islamophobe. I do not have a phobia. I'm just getting a data, official data from our services, from the police, from FBI, from others. And I'm watching in news. I'm very
active with that.
Yeah.
Maybe you are an Islamophobe.
No, I'm not.
If we take phobe to not, it doesn't always just mean fear. I think it means I dislike those or whatever it is. And I think we need to be able to speak about, well, maybe we can have phobes of certain belief systems.
You see, it's not about faith. It's about actions. That's why very strongly I underline radical Islamists. I'm not talking about the faith itself. I could, but I don't. I'm talking about jihadists who are using a faith of Islam to conquer the world. And this conquering the world process has nothing to do with any religion, I believe. I mean, they took this Islam and used it as a weapon. They want to fight with their sword. If you do not believe, you're dead. Because there's many guys from Islam who disagree with them, but they are not too loud.
No.
That is the problem. When you see all these mosques and imams clapping after another terror attack, that is the problem. And it is a fact. You've got hate preachers who encourage you to be violent. And this is a fact. It's not my opinion. So it's not Islamophobia. It's not my problem with Islam or any other religion, but my reaction to protect my family, to protect my nation, to protect my continent. I'm not going to be silent. We've been a silent majority for too many years. It's time to react. If we're not going to react, no one will do it for us. That's why, again, coming back to Tommy, the criticism and attacks on him, if others, conservatives, far right, I'm a far right, very far. I mean, I'm so far as my love to my family and protection to my family. Radical left are using this term to make us feel bad. When I'm called far right, I feel so good because I am far right. Because that's how far is love to my family. So coming back to Tommy again, if they are better than Tommy, where are they? I keep asking this question and I cannot find any answer.
I suppose, just to play the devil's advocate here, popularity does not always equate to being morally correct. You know,
sure,
if someone's
absolutely
more extreme, they can get a big crowd.
Of course, but but what is extreme about my speech or Tommy's speech or any other speakers who were gathered from different backgrounds, different political groups, different countries, different religions as well, different languages. We are all different. People from France, Netherlands, Poland, England, US, Spain. How come that there is, even if there are so many differences, we still decided to be there yesterday on this stage, on this platform, because there is something common, right?
Yeah.
Even if Tommy is wrong in many directions, there's one very fundamental: our identity and the safety of our families, our children. We can be different. He can be wrong. He's not wrong about the safety of our children and our future. That's very simple.
He's also, I mean, you talk about being far right. I think when the left say far right, they think of somebody who's a racist.
I'm not.
This is what I mean.
But you see, but the funny thing is, when we're talking about Islam and the Islamophobe and racist, one of my closest friends is from Syria. And he's a migrant. He came to Poland 25 years ago. He married a Polish woman. His children are grown up in Catholic faith. And he said to me, never ever let them in. He told me that when Germany started this madness in 2015. He said, these people, we Syrians, we call them people from the desert. I said, why do you call them? Because they live on the desert as nomads. And they are, in many ways, he described it, in many ways, mad. They behave in a way civilized people do not behave. Do not let them in. And I could see a fear in his eyes. He's a very successful man, quite big company in Poland, and hardworking man, and as I said, his wife was Polish, passed away. He's got 2 children and grown in the Christian faith, and he was when this started. I know him for years. He says never ever let them in. So even people who are educated and people who travel a lot, they know Syrians, they know they are aware of the threat. There must be a reason for it.
And that's the thing. So I wonder if we need to...
And the racism, sorry, because I would forget. If we are racist, why we had such a beautiful gospel band yesterday?
Yeah, I saw there was a lot of people were like, this is what racism looks like. And there's like a lot of black people, there's black people singing.
Beautiful patriots, beautiful Christians. We are not racist, but I don't care if they call me a racist. This is what I've said to Katie Newman as well. They can call me a pink elephant. I don't care. I care about my family, about my country. It's just a word, really bad one.
Yeah.
And it's not true. There is so many lies about us. On Monday, they call me a fascist. On Tuesday, I'm a communist working for Russia. On Wednesday, I'm an Islamophobe. Or Thursday, and every day I'm called different names. I don't care.
But the problem is it prevents people who might be quite moderate in the center from wanting to associate with your...
Of course, that is the point. That is the point. That is why I think this Freedom Rally event as a turning point for a British politics and society. Why? Because people are not afraid anymore to be labeled, to be, called a racist or far right, whatever it means for mainstream media. We are not silent majority anymore. We are just majority. And the whole process started, and I think this miracle, I'm not exaggerating. I think in the conditions of British politics, when people are locked up for a post on Facebook, when people are, jailed for nothing really, to gather like millions, I don't know exact numbers, we'll wait for the official data, but a lot of people, let's say, the biggest rally in the recent history of Great Britain, as a miracle, as a success, and it is a turning point. Congratulations again to Tommy and all those who attended. I know it's not the last one. The next one is coming.
I feel like the illegal immigration, I mean, you're absolutely right. We have to stop the boats. And that is something that everyone in the UK and Europe and in every country can get behind. I think that's really important. But I sometimes wonder...
Well, not everyone, because leftists, they say that it should be stopped, but they don't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
It was very easy in the Polish parliament to pass the law. It took us a week. When our soldier was killed with the spear on the Polish-Belarusian border, Polish parliament gathered instantly and passed a law that we can use a live bullet. We can kill if someone is threatening our boys. We can kill. We can use live bullets against migrants or anyone on the border when they are trying to hurt or kill our soldiers. The same thing is at the airport. When you're trying to cross the border, Heathrow, JFK, whatever, without your passport, using violence, what would have happened to you? Why do they carry a gun? It's not a toy. They are not carrying it just to look good. You have to use it. You have to be active. You have to obey the law. You are a law enforcement. And what I see in Europe is that they think it's a movie. It's a game. It's just a toy. It's not a toy. It is actual war. And we know that this is a war because in our case, Polish-Belarusian border, we know that the guys they are coming from Russia with Russian tourist visas. They paid a lot to go through the forest. They do not want apply for a visa. They want to cross our border illegally without letting us know who are they, what is their criminal back check, or if they are jihadists planning a terrorist attack. And as I said, after the killing of our soldier with the spear, our parliament changed the law. You can be killed.
That's really important to stop people coming in, as you say, because they're undocumented, we don't know who they are, and all of those things. Sometimes I wonder...
Undocumented is different, because when you are coming to to our services and you say, okay, I lost my passport during the war, I'm coming from the conflict zone, I had terrible experiences, I cannot prove who I am, but here I am, examine me, talk to me, and that's okay. You've got a problem with your documents. Let's talk. Let's find out how we can prove who you are and check who you are.
Okay.
That's undocumented. Illegal migrant is the one who's not even trying and committing a crime. Because undocumented is a very popular term in mainstream media. It's not about not having a documents. It's about committing a crime. I'm a lawyer, by the way. A crime of crossing the border.
Okay, that's a good point. But also, I wonder if our side or whatever it might be, those of us who are concerned about immigration, are too focused on that and not on the legal immigration that has been in the UK in the millions year after year, and it's legal.
Yeah,
everything legal. I don't blame the immigrants for coming. Of course, come. But from people with totally different cultures from our own, who like that, probably that taxi driver you spoke to, probably came over legally
15 years ago. Yeah.
This is for me, that is the real problem.
It is a problem. It is a serious problem. That's why I think it should be restricted and regulated. There was no regulations in Great Britain because there was this beautiful argument: our economy needs it. Then let the economy lives here, and you're gonna be a minority. There are cities in the UK where British Christians are minority. If you want that, that's fine with me. I mean, that's your fate. That's your future. Whatever you want. You decided who's gonna be in a parliament, who's gonna be in a government. That's your responsibility. That's your life choices. I do not want to be a minority in my own home, at my beautiful homeland.
Yeah,
I want to live in Poland. That's what I said during my speech. If I want to live in Africa, Asia, or any Arabic state, I would move. I do not want Africa, Asia, or any Arabic state to take over by hijra. As you know, hijra is a term in Islam using to conquer without a war. It's just a fact. I'm not making it up. They are using it as a term to describe that they will take over by the numbers.
What was it you said? I'm trying to remember. It was that interview. Maybe it was Kathy Newman. Did you say we won't let one Muslim in?
That was Katie Newman. We will not receive even one if it's illegal.
If it's illegal?
Yes.
And do you have legal Muslim immigration into Poland, and how is that?
No. If I would, everyone can come and apply for a visa. I mean, everyone. But that's for some time. If you're asking about refugees, as you know, we decided to help Ukrainians. By the international law, first safe country of the conflict is obliged to help, and we did. That was not a problem. By the international law, we behaved like we should, right? So Ukrainians, bordering country. But Syria has no borders with Poland.
No.
It's not neighboring country,
No.
right? That's why we said, no, my love. You've got so many Arabic, close culturally, religiously countries around, you can go there. We're not going to take any of you. So when I said we're not going to take any Muslim refugees, they went like, wow, he's like Islamophobe. It wasn't about religion. It was about very specific country, Syria, during the war, because international law is very clear about it. Refugee is the person who flees to the first safe country. Where is Qatar? Why Qatar did not help?
No one cares.
There you go. No, not even. What about Egypt?
Don't care.
They did not let anyone in during the conflict from Palestine. Why?
No one cares, do they? I don't get it.
So it's not about not. I think there's more than that. I think they do have a knowledge that would be a threat for some reasons. So why such a very rich Arabic countries like, let's say, Do you know that in Mecca, you've got beautiful tents for the pilgrimage once a year for 4 million people, air-conditioned, and they are empty whole year. Do you know that?
No.
There you go. So now you know. Why they are not there? 4 million people. Beautiful, I would say exclusive, air-conditioned, everything. Beautiful tents for pilgrimage. It's empty whole year. And they want us to take these people, to pay for them, and then they want us to pay the consequences of their behavior and cultural differences, as it's called.
It's actually completely insane.
I'm not gonna stop, even if they will call me an Islamophobe, because I've got my arguments. And every common sense person would say this is insane. We're not gonna pay for it. Simple as that. And also, there is this beautiful argument that we are Christians, so we should be merciful, we should help, and mostly coming from wokeism, from this fighting left. They are not Christians, but they are trying to teach me how should I, as a Christian, behave. There is Ordo Misericordia, which is the order of love, Christian love, and it's family, neighbor, country, and the rest. They are not even a neighbor country with us. So don't you lecture me about Christians.
And I like that.
Christianity.
Charity starts in the home. You know,
That's right.
It's one of my favorite expressions.
Right.
And you got if people who don't, and often you do, that is a characteristic of the left. Often they don't get on with their parents. They don't get on with their family.
There is so much division. There is so much hate and violence. Charlie Kirk is the terrible example of. I think he's an example of a Christian world, and a dialogue person who wants to talk, who wants to clash with the different views and make up a mind of viewers and see how we can find a solution to this world. And he was killed.
Horrible.
That is this war of civilization. They want to kill us, physically get rid of us. The numbers of the threats I'm having every day.
Less than 0.1%, I think, in Poland are Muslim. So when you come to the rest of Europe,
But yeah, sorry.
Do you notice a huge difference in behaviors and cultures and things?
Yes, I tell you why. Poland was a multicultural country for many years in the past. In the past, we had a Polish Tatars, Muslims, who are beautiful patriots, who never thought about blowing themselves up in 18th, 17th century or 19th century. They are peaceful in Poland. They've been in Poland for years. They are a very tiny group, but they love Poland. They respect our culture. They respect our Christian faith, and they are patriots. In the past, we have great examples of them fighting for Poland. I think world changed after September 11. I think that was a moment when jihadists crossed the line. And the world will never be the same. And now, from what we learned, we know that this is an existential threat. And again, I will do whatever I can as a politician to stop this. Because I do not want my grandchild to ask me in 30 or whatever years, if God allows, what did you do when this madness started, Grandpa? Why didn't you stop that? What did you do? How did you react? What was your action? I had this beautiful conversation with the lady on the airport. That was airport. A Polish lady, she recognized me and she says, Mr. Tarczynski, I got this problem. I live here in Belgium, and my daughter had a really bad experience yesterday. She had a sandwich with a ham, and she was attacked for having a sandwich with a ham because someone felt insulted because she's eating a pork. Can you believe that? I didn't make this up.
I believe it, though.
So I do not want my granddaughter, if to go through this kind of things. I do not want her to be raped based on religious beliefs. I do not want her to be beheaded. I'm doing it for my own future family, not because of my political views and for my political points. It is very personal to me.
And are these issues that are not currently happening? Because Poland, it's on the rise, I think, economically.
Well, first of all, when you look at the Eurostat data, right?
Yeah.
It's still the lowest unemployment in European Union, or one of the lowest, depending on the quarter.
Why is that?
I think
briefly, just
okay. So let's start with the lowest unemployment, then highest GDP after COVID. That's very important because many countries went through terrible time. We went like booming during our government. And the answer to your question, why is that? Not even one terrorist attack. We haven't had even one. There was no terrorist attack. There was no jihadists because we did not let anyone in. So because of that, many companies are coming to Poland because they feel safe to invest. That's number one. Then, after 70 years of communism, after this oppression, when we get a chance in 1990 to have a free market, to work hard and see the fruits, Polish people felt that I'm gonna work hard now. During the communism, whatever you do, you couldn't make it, right? After 1990, Poland the economy just opened for so many opportunities. So we are so hungry of success. We are so hungry of hard work. What is the most common popular comment on Polish being here in Great Britain?
hardworking.
There you go. Because we went through so much that we know that if you're working hard, if you are free to work, you are successful. Poland was not on the map for 123 years because of the partitions. Then we had to go through World War II, then 70 years of communism, and now we are free. A nation with 1,000 years of history after all these terrible experiences. It's like we've been in the cave for so many years and now we're going out to the sun. We can achieve everything. That's why I love Poland. Because we suffered a lot. And I can see guys working here so hard. It's beautiful.
We've got two here.
And I look at you now. Two Polish guys. You are a minority now.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm surrounded by three Poles.
Working hard, paying their taxes, being here legally, not thinking about blowing themselves up, but to contribute to this society. And that is the difference between us. That's why I mentioned Polish pilots fighting for Great Britain yesterday. That's why I respect everyone who works hard here in Great Britain. It's like millions of us in here. We had to leave during the Liberals' first government, which was a very tough time. Many Poles get married here, started their businesses. They started their life here. They had to leave. Poland was in a bad shape at that time. So I do have a respect. I was one of them. I do know how the proper migration should look like. That's why I came here to pay respect to this country for the opportunity I was given. That's why I'm fighting for this country, because I've got so many friends here, people who respect this country, the culture of this country. They love football, they love pubs, they love all the parts, small bits of
Dogs.
this. There you go. Because that's your culture. Respect it or leave.
I was walking my dog the other day in a shopping mall near where I grew up. And it's such a strange thing because you have, it's now very multicultural and lots of people from different backgrounds and things. But the Hindus, there's about half and half, I think, because there's quite a lot of Hindus there. And you can see they're Hindu from how they're dressed. They come over to me and my dog and they want to pick up the dog and they say, I'm going to take him home with me and all
It's
this
so
stuff.
beautiful.
The Muslims there, they dive out the way or they spit.
Oh, because dog is a dirty animal.
Yeah.
You cannot have it. You dirty dog, you know?
Which
there are
is
two
why-
things. They're throwing a shoe at you if you want to show the disrespect. You remember famous Bush thing.
Yeah.
Or they called you a dog because it's a dirty... We love dogs. I love dogs. I always had a dog. I love dogs.
Yeah, I love dogs. And some people watching, they might be allergic. That's different. You know, if you're allergic
No,
or
but
you're scared
it's
of
not
dogs.
based. It's not based on your religion or your culture.
Yeah, they really look angry at me, and I'm just like, my dog is a little duck.
Why should anyone look at you angry at your own home?
Yeah.
Why? This is your home. A great Britain must be great again. It's time. Let's stop discussing. Let's stop debating. Do something. Do something. What I do, I vote always against migration. I always take a stand and take a floor in the parliament fighting for the right law. I do my best as a lawyer to create a good law, even though we are in opposition. I'm active on the streets. I'm active on social media. I'm doing podcasts like this to let people know me, contact me, to debate me. I'm very happy. I mean, if you would ever invite anyone to debate me, like, fighting atheist or someone who thinks that I am an Islamophobe, I'm very happy to sit here next time when I'm in London and debate. I'm very open for that. I do not have a problem to sit with someone and prove me wrong, right?
Maybe we can find someone.
Very welcome.
That side
I'm very happy to do it.
That side at the moment doesn't want to debate, does it?
Well, that is the problem. That is another. If you would ask me about differences, culture, it's a different civilization in many cases. Violence, it's not the way. It's auto distraction. It's not gonna, it's not like I'm gonna wave with the peace mark with a flag. I'm not if there is a need for a fight, I'm gonna fight. If there is a need for war, I'm gonna go for war. I'm a politician. I'm not gonna leave my country if there would be a war. I'm ready. I do understand that this is a part of life, and adult men should react properly. And that's why I said last week in the European Parliament that it is a time to stop wearing dresses and be a man. Put an armor, not a dress. That is a problem in our society, that adult men behave like children or women. They do not want to take responsibility. Not only that, they do not want to be a pillar of family. They do not want to be a pillar for a woman. They do not want to be. They do not want to pay their role as a man. And we conservatives, we have to be a man. It's time to be a man, to take care of yourself and take care of your family.
It's interesting what you said about not, why should you be hated in your own country? Why should you're at home and those kinds of things. And I think, characteristically, personality-wise, you can probably feel that I'm much more mild-mannered maybe than you are, right?
Which is great.
It's just different personalities.
Sure.
But even the mild-mannered people like me and many, many others are now listening to you or Tommy Robinson and saying, actually, and that's how far we've gotten. That you
see, well, thank you for that, because it shows that I don't have to pretend, because very often I was called aggressive. I was lack of culture, aggressive mob, but I didn't care. I do not want to be someone else. I feel and I think, I analyze, and I'm ready for criticism. I don't mind. Everyone is different. Personalities are different. But I'm very happy to be in contact. I'm running my social media myself. I didn't give it to my assistants. I said, okay, if someone will DM me, I want to judge and decide if I want to reply, because there is so many important DMs. There is so many important messages. I'll do it myself. So please contact me if you want to. I'm very open.
Is there, you said about Poland and why you're interested in the UK, because you love Europe.
Right.
From a Polish perspective as well, the more that Europe becomes potentially an Islamified area, that's going to be right on Poland's doorstep. So is that another reason why Poles have to worry?
Of course. I think it's better to prevent.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is what I do, to be honest. That's why I was very clear about our policy during our 2 terms government. I said, do not come to the Polish borders. You will not be pushed back, because they were so upset about pushbacks that someone is pushed back. It's not our police who came to beat you up or push you back. It's you who came here illegally to our border, to cross it illegally. So do not come to the Polish border. You will not be killed. Do not go to the Polish border. and you will not die. How simple is that? No one will, no one is forcing you to do it illegally. If you want to join our society for some time, contribute, respect our language, our culture, our everything, you can ask for a permission. If we decide, if our interior minister will decide that you are needed for some time to our society, to our system, you will stay for some time. If not, you will not. So, it's better to prevent. As I said, Poland is still the only country without terror attack, and I want to keep it that way.
We're going to end up with, because I'm quite negative. I know you feel with the Tommy stuff, there's going to be a rise and a bit of a change. I feel like unless something really changes, then maybe in 30...
It's a process. It's not like one event will change reality. No. You need a series of events. You have to build your own confidence as a conservative, as a patriot, whatever you want to call this group of people. I think they are patriots, and even if they are not conservative, they have enough.
I'm certainly a patriot, yeah.
There you go.
I love this country.
Yes. So there are differences, political differences, but patriotism has no colors. I mean, if you're a patriot, you're patriot. You can be, you can believe in low taxes and can be a patriot, and you don't care about taxes and you're still patriot, right? There are differences, obviously. So the time of patriots will come soon, but it is a process. What I mean by that is, when we had this terrible communism in Poland for so many years, the process was started by solidarity. Movement was growing up to 10 million people. Then we had, obviously, John Paul II, who supported us very much so. He inspired us. Obviously, we had a Ronald Reagan, who was very supportive. But communism wasn't easy. Berlin Wall wasn't easy to tear this down. So what you need series of events. You need to build your confidence. Because the problem is that at the moment now in Great Britain, you can be locked up just for a post on Facebook.
Yeah.
People are scared. So what do we need? We need someone who will give you a courage. That's why I'm here. That you need someone who will show you that the fear is a weapon from the left. You cannot be afraid. What you need first, you have to believe that change is possible. Because many comments after this rally was, nothing will change. It's too late. No, it's not too late. If Poland was not on the map for 123 years, if we went through the World War II, when 6 million Poles died, if we went through 70 years of communism, it's never too late. You can rebuild it, you can get it back, but you have to take part in this process. You cannot be observer, you cannot be just somewhere on the side. No one will do it for you. No one will do it for you. This table will not do it for you. This chair will not do it for you. This mic will not do it for you. You have to be involved.
Because if it does happen, that this becomes like an Islamified Europe, it's going to be like, you'll have like Poland.
Another conquering.
Poland, Hungary, maybe would they hold?
Well, we have to remember about King Sobieski, who saved Europe once in Vienna. So when Ottoman Empire attacked Poland, Europe, Polish king was the one who stopped them. If he would not stop them, that would be a terrible disaster. Europe would be Islamic now. So we saved Europe once. We're going to save it again. But please, please, do not sit on your couch. Do not watch it, because it might be dangerous for your family. Be involved. Social media is a great example. Elon was great for freeing the bird, changed the whole thing. We've got social media, and also I got these comments, many of them, on DMs. Oh, you're great. I love your speech. You're right. And this, I can't say out loud because I would lose my job. I would this or that. Oh, my family is divided. You will lose your job. You will lose your family, and you might lose your life if you will be afraid. It's like with the first symptoms that something is wrong with your body. Let's say, I've got a pain, my tooth, but I'm afraid to go to the dentist, and it's too late. There's a serious problem. Same when you have at first symptoms of very serious illness, like cancer or whatever. You know that this might be serious, but you are afraid to go to the doctor. And it's too late. Do not let fear to stop you. Let's act now. Let's fight for the beautiful, safe Europe.
What about, what do you think about some of the countries that are maybe further down the line on this, like Denmark, Ireland, Sweden? Is there much hope for them?
There's always hope, but Sweden is gone. I mean, they would need a proper revolution. Actually, I don't like this word, counter-revolution. I would say, because the state of this country, after over 100 years of socialist ruling, is just really bad. I mean, no-go zones is a fact. I was told, oh, do not say that we do not have officially no-go zones. Of course, you're not advertising no-go zones. You're not stating every day that you have no-go zones. But citizens and people around the world knows that there are zones where you do not go, right? So I think they would need someone in charge, like, I don't know, Giuliani in New York, zero tolerance, like zero means zero. But I don't know if they're ready. I mean, sometimes you have to go through so much pain to understand what life without pain is. And again, Poland went through so much we were enslaved for so many years. We know what the freedom is. We do cherish our freedom. We do understand that Nazis, communists, and now jihadists will never ever take over again.
What do Polish people think of you? Do you have a big sort of woke Polish people there?
Well, thank God, not a big group really. No. If that would be a case, I wouldn't grow with my public support. That's my 4th term in the parliament, and I started, I don't know, with 8,000 votes, 11,000 votes then. Next was 45,000 votes. Last elections, 211,000 votes. It's growing, so numbers would be the answer.
Do you think maybe that's partly because of the communist history, people are a little bit more aware there of...
Of course,
yeah,
our experiences. People are aware what this kind of tyranny, it doesn't matter if that's a fascism, Nazis, communists or jihadists, they are quite the same, I would say. So the ideology is quite a bit different, but the tools are always lead you to death. And that's the common thing with all these systems of thinking about the world, about superior beings, right? If you're not the same as us, you will die, right? That's the common thing between them.
Are Poles concerned at the moment? Are you concerned about Russia? With the drones were coming in the other day?
Of course I am. Of course. Again, I have to go back to the history. We know Russia for years, for centuries. Partitions, what I mentioned, Russia was part of those who were responsible for that. So we know Russia not only from 17th or 18th century, we know them from Katyn massacre during the World War II. We know that Germans attacked Poland and started World War II on September 1st, 1939, and 16 days later, Russians attacked from the east. Not many people know. I mean, not many people, even if they know that, they do not speak about it. We had 2 occupations, right? We had 2 aggressors. We had Germany attacking on the 1st of September 1939 and Russia attacking on 17th of September 1939. So we had 2 aggressors from the west and from the east. So then after 1945, Russia took over. That's why my grandfather decided, okay, now war did not end for me. Occupant is different. Aggressor is different. The state of the country, we are not free. So for many people, war ended in May or August 1945, right? Depending if you're American or European. But for my grandfather, it did not end because Russians took over. So he was fighting against them until 1947. So history of my family in Poland shows us that Russia never changed. In my opinion, it's rather not if they were attacked, but when.
Do you think that Putin wants Poland?
I'm not talking about Putin. I'm talking about Russian political elites. They never changed. Their way of thinking about existence, about politics, is violence. War is combined with their way of thinking, how they think politics should be done. So that's what history teaches, right?
Sure.
So even if not Putin, if not in a year, a month, or a decade, they will attack Europe. It's a matter of time. Because history, unfortunately, repeats itself. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. But from what I know throughout centuries, they will. That was one of the reasons I said these words. Stop wearing dresses. Put on an armor. Stop spending money on wokeness and the sick ideology. Spend money on army and education. Create a strong men, mentally, people who are ready to fight. Because if you will go under the blanket, the reality will not disappear. Even if you will, you can decide that you will pretend that you're a girl. It's not going to change the fact that you are a man and you have responsibilities in your life to take care of yourself, to take care of your family, and take care of your nation. If you will pretend that you are someone else, it's not going to change anything. So it's time to stop this, forgive me, crazy bullshit with wokeness. It's time to go back to the roots, educate, and support a strong, normal family when the man is responsible for its family. This is what we need. Manhood. This is what we need now. That's what Europe needs.
I've got one more question for you, but first, where can people find you and follow you?
Instagram, Dominik Tarczyński. It's not as easy to pronounce, but I believe you're gonna put my link to my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I do it myself, so you can always DM me and we can have a dialogue. And I do hope that maybe someone would reach you out and we're gonna have a debate in this studio when I'm here again.
That would be cool.
Thank you so much.
Who's a heretic you admire? Did someone tell you we were going to ask that?
Yes.
Who?
I will not answer. There's a professor, and I don't know if that would be good for me. So that's the only question I'm not going to answer.
Not good for you or not good for him?
For him.
Well, that's fair enough. But that's a good heretic then.
I'm going to answer in the DMs. So
people, please go and follow Dominik Tarczyński. We'll put the links and things down below. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Get in touch with him. Keep doing the like thing and subscribing to this channel and keep watching it just right here.